Today on Talking with Tentacles, our guest is the blue ring octopus.
Yeah.
Yay! Today, the first point we're going to be talking about with the blue ringed octopus is its anatomy. And one of the most important things with the blue ringed octopus is its poison gland, which is located right here. Blue ring octopus has 8 arms, and they're called tentacles. Compared to humans, they have 2 arms and 2 legs. They have 3 hearts. We have 1 heart. Octopuses do not have skeletons. Humans do. Along with humans have lungs and they have gills, which is probably located somewhere. Both the female and the male octopus die shortly after mating. The male dies a few weeks afterwards, and the female dies after the eggs are hatched.
I'm a female.
Yeah. Like I said, the blue-ringed octopus is venomous.
The next subject we'll be talking about today, about me, the blue-ringed octopus, is its evolutionary history. Starting out, the blue-ringed octopus is a golden color until alarmed by whatever it may be, another fish, danger, something passing by. Then it starts flashing its iridescent blue rings, which gives it as a warning to say, hey, don't mess with me.
Okay. The female lays about 50 to 100 eggs, and she holds them under her tentacles. And for about 50 days later, they'll come out, and then the female will die shortly after. They're the size of like a grapeseed at birth, and then they'll grow up to like 5 centimeters long, and they weigh about 10 to 100 grams. And there are at least 10 species of the blue-ringed octopus, and their well-known examples are the southern blue-ringed octopus and the greater blue-ringed octopus.
Now for the ecology of the blue-ringed octopus. The blue-ringed octopus is primarily found in Australia, New Guinea, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Japan. And the blue-ringed octopus can be found more specifically in rubble or reefs, cracks, small stones on top of reefs, and sandy bottoms.
Did you say cracks?
I did say
It's
cracks.
sandy bottoms?
I did. It's often very shallow where they are found. So the temperature that the blue-ringed octopus typically inhibits is in the upper 70s to upper 80s. And this octopus is found close to the water surface and in tide pools.
Go swimming by me. It's the best.
The blue-ringed octopus typically lives in tide pools or reefs, and because of their diet, it consists of the animals that also live in the same habitat. So they hunt during the day, and they mainly eat small crabs, hermit crabs, and sometimes small fish. This octopus hunts by ambushing their prey, pouncing on it, then trapping it with their tentacles. The octopus then uses their sharp parrot-like beak to pierce a hole into the prey's shell or exoskeleton. The venomous saliva is then dripped into the wounds the octopus created with their beak, which causes the prey to become paralyzed. The octopus uses their beak to tear off and eat the softer parts of their prey. Enzymes in the venomous saliva then digest the remaining flesh, which the octopus then sucks out.
And it goes like this. It doesn't go like that.
Okay, so despite how violent this octopus hunts, the blue-ringed octopus is not typically an aggressive animal. They're usually hiding behind rocks and in reefs, so they're kind of hidden, so they don't really attack people at first glance. However, when humans do disturb their habitat, they can become aggressive. And that's all.
The final topic we'll be talking about today with the blue-ringed octopus is its venom. Poison, whatever you want to go with it. The blue-ringed octopus is ranked number 4 in the world of every animal that's on Earth and recorded. It is number 4, the most poisonous and deadly creature out there. The animal can kill up to 26 adult humans, like the average weight of an adult, in one bite, which is pretty substantial, because that's crazy. Next page. How do they spread their poison? Throughout their range in Australia and the eastern Indo-Pacific, several humans suffer bites each year. Unfortunately, some of these are fatal. In Australia, where blue rings occur in shallow coastal waters and can be relatively common in areas for beachgoers, and be dozens reported at one time, like there can be like a bunch of them seen in one little group, so like they can pack up, just don't mess with them. The bite is typically like harmless, like you can't feel it. It only produces 1 drop of blood, like at most 1 drop of blood, and will cause maybe a bruise, but it's pretty much the equivalent to getting a paper cut without you knowing in the middle of the sea, which is pretty hard. And the bad thing about this is people that have been bitten don't know that they've been bitten, so it's hard for like medical crews to get there in time. So that's why they are more fatal than other poisonous creatures. So let's talk about the symptoms now. The symptoms are quite rapid, like within the first 3 minutes of being bitten. Instant paralysis, numbness, progressive muscular weaknesses, difficulty breathing, swallowing, nausea, vomiting, visual disturbances, speaking difficulty will occur. In severe cases, flaccid paralysis with respiratory failure and unconscious, and could lead to death. So it pretty much happens, they bite you, your whole muscle system shuts down, your lungs can't pump, like they can't like, hey, we're lungs, we're supposed to like get air in. It's a bad thing when you can't breathe because there's no oxygen, and then your organs start to shut down from the oxygen, which no oxygen to the brain is a bad thing. It goes brain dead pretty quick. Another reason why it's fatal is because if you're swimming and you get bit by one of these and you forget, like if your muscles stiffen up and you like you can't really, well, you don't really forget, but like you can't move your arms to swim, a lot of the cases have been drownings if you've been bitten by a blue-ringed octopus. So yeah, not fun. Don't get bitten by one. The severity of their toxin is so like precise and harsh on the body that like Dr. Roy Caldwell from Berkeley, California, said that like if he moved his hand around a tank that had one in it and around the parts where he had his hand close in proximity, and when he said close, he like put quotes around close as in like 5 inches from, so if you're just swimming past one, you'll start to get neurological, like mild, not like extreme, but mild neurological symptoms. Like he felt his whole arm like start to like tingle up and stiffen up, so that's how severe it could be. So the reason where they get their venom, it's called tetrodotoxin, which is made by a bacteria. We'll get to that in a minute. But the tetrodotoxin is a bacteria that lives inside their saliva, and everything they feed on, the bacteria also feeds on. So like while it's sitting in its mouth, it will feed on whatever, like, so bits of fish, bits of crusty water, I don't know, like crabs. The thing that this bacteria produces is poison, and the defense mechanism of the octopus is to keep the poison in the saliva, like the salivary gland, and after a long period of time, they build up an immunity, like the evolution of the fish has built up immunity to the toxin itself, so like it can't harm the fish, they can harm others, and it just so happens that they like get it into their mouth, like they allow because most fish don't allow the bacteria to be in there, but for blue-ringed octopuses, since they're so small, it's like their own defense mechanism is by using another creature for it. And so that's why it's not really created on their own, but they hold it in reserve for when they need it the most. So the bacteria that makes this is the pseudo-altermonophage. Here is a picture of it, like some bacteria-looking stuff. It's really hard to describe because it's a very long word. And pretty much like I said before, they were wondering, when they first did discoveries on this fish, they were finding it hard, like, man, this fish has some poisonous chemicals in it that are also found in other poisonous fish, so what relates all of them? And the main thing they found is the reason why all these fish was related was because of this simple bacteria was found in, let's say, the puffer fish, the anglerfish, the stone snail. All these have this bacteria in it that produces this incredibly potent, to us anyways, and all other like animals with a nervous system, it is incredibly dangerous to them, for the simple fact is that once this bacteria gets into your system, it will shut it down, and that's what makes them so toxic. So don't mess with me.
world, it's a
You're
mess.
good.
Life under the sea is better than anything they got up
Today's
there.
episode of Talking with Tentacles
It's always
featuring the blue ring
greener
octopus.
in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look
Okay,
at
you
the
can
world
stop.
around.
I want to show the entire class this.
You're fine.
Features, just point at like a blue ring on your face. Here is where the blue ring is located. They do look wet still.
Right? They're not.
Oh, better.
Prop your feet up on the table.
Fuck my arms. Literally. See, I'm gonna have to read like straight through mine. That's where like I can get to 5 minutes.
Okay, today on Talking Anatomy, we're talking about the evolutionary of the blue-ringed octopus, and they are a deep brown to gold with, oh my gosh, I can't read.
That's right.
You guys all freaking.
For the ecology.
Now for the ecology of under the sea. Are you recording me?
Maybe.